I don't know how Bartholomew died.
No, what I'm
You
trying
know
to say
how
is
Muhammad died.
He died a normal
that
death.
for nearly all of the disciples, with the possible exceptions of Paul and Peter, who we think died in Rome, we actually don't know what happened to them. There are later stories, legendary medieval stories. Of course, though. You know, it's like Mary's parents, Anna and Joachim. I don't know their exact names, but Catholic Church had their saints' day quite recently. We know the names of their parents. Mary, actually, we don't. I mean, this is a later medieval myth that's kind of built up, and now every Catholic knows
Well,
the names
what are
of.
they
Oh, it's
called?
Anne. It was Anne.
And what?
Anne and
What are the hadith if not myths collected
So-
over 200 years after the death of Muhammad?
we have. Do you know we
How
have?
can you claim authority to the hadiths?
Okay.
Were
Would you
they
like me to
memorized
explain?
as well? Were they also memorized
Would you like
and
me to
are in the
explain
hearts
how?
of people?
Do you know? I admit too there are forged hadiths. Is that a shock
Yes.
to you?
No.
Why is that not a shock to you?
Because-
He's revealing to you some of the hadiths are forged. Oh,
Some of them
let me
we have.
explain.
There is an
Scholars
Israel-
have always known, right back to the earliest days, they were forged hadiths. But Muhammad said, don't make up sayings in my name. We have Muslims have developed a very sophisticated science called hadith criticism to try and work out, sift out the true, the authentic and reliable from the false. And there's hadith criticism, content criticism, matter criticism, and so on. We can go into that if you want. That's a technical, highly sophisticated that is a showcase for it as an intellectual masterpiece, an attempt to sort this out. So Muslims have addressed this right from the beginning. Yes, there is this issue of forged hadiths, and some people like Bukhari and others like Muslim and others have adopted very, very strict criteria of authenticity. You've got to know a whole bunch of things. I mean, it's very, very rigorous. And he's produced what's called the most authentic Bukhari hadith collection.
Yeah.
It's a collection of probably 3,000 or 4,000, taking out doublets and copies
Yeah.
and whatever. They're Sahih.
6,000.
So it's precisely to address the issue that Muslim scholars have always known about this. They've always known about this. It's not news. And Muslims have been the first to address this problem. What they've not disputed about is the Quran, however, which has remained pristine in its integrity. And the majority of Western scholars today accept that the Quran we have today is the same Quran that Muhammad had in his lifetime. The majority of West. I got a quote from that. Jonathan Brown is professor of Islamic Studies in the United States at Georgetown University. I read that was his comment, and he's a top scholar in this field. His PhD was in Hadith Studies, Bukhari. You can actually read it online.
What about Tom Holland?
He's not a Hadith
Tom
scholar.
Holland, well, he would
He's not a
agree
specialist.
that the whole beginning birth of Islam is in serious
Just
question.
remind me, what are his qualifications in this area? Is he a specialist in Hadith or Sirah or Quran?
The Middle Eastern history.
Oh, really? Of that time, the 7th century? He's not. I'm not. I mean, he's an historian.
So he
but
cannot
it's-
talk about it.
Well,
He
you see, it's
cannot be
interesting.
informed.
I cite a specialist, a professor in an academic university, and you cite someone who's not a professor.
I've never heard about
who, well, maybe that's the point. Maybe you should read his works because the actual academics who specialise in the topic that he specialises in are not. Tom Holland is a maverick figure. If I was to cite to you and say, there's a guy called John Allegro. He was a biblical scholar in the 1970s, and he wrote a book which said that about the resurrection. He was a real biblical scholar, I mean, an English biblical scholar, and he said that the disciples ate magic mushrooms after Jesus died, and that's how they saw the resurrection of Jesus. It was based on a certain herb or mushroom in Galilee. They had a hallucination, and he
You
said
think
that.
I would believe that?
Of course you wouldn't. That's my point. Just because a particular scholar comes up with a slightly unconventional theory, what I mean is hogwash, is a hogwash theory. It doesn't. What I'm citing now are mainstream scholars, and there are many others I can cite, who have looked who are specialists in this area, know Arabic. And Tom Holland is more like John Allegro. He has unusual views, but hey, he has his views. He's not a specialist in this area. If you want to know about a physics question, you go to a physicist. You don't go to a gardener. You go to a physicist. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. Well, don't you go to specialists? If you want a heart operation, do you go to a doctor or do you go to a chemist?
Are you being fair in your appreciation? So he's a gardener. He's not even a physicist. He's just a
No, but he's not a specialist. His opinions
hasn't
don't.
been proven wrong, has he?
Oh, he has.
Has he?
Oh no, absolutely.
Goodness me, I
being-
keep learning new
Do you
things.
read the peer reviews, the academic reviews of his stuff?
Yes, I have seen all
How come
the...
you've not read Jonathan Brown's review of Tom Holland? Do you know Jonathan Brown, his debated Tom Holland on Premier Christian Radio in London, and you can hear it online. And do you know what a slow car crash is like? You know, when you say that's what it's like. Unfortunately, Tom Holland is. It doesn't, you know, against an expert who specialises in Tom Holland doesn't come out at all well. So yes, his work has been reviewed by the experts, and really it's a part of.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm giving you names of scholars here. You can look up.
Yeah, so am I. So am I giving you names of scholars that you can
if you look
look
up
up.
Jonathan Brown and Tom Holland, say debate, and it should come up with a Premier. I've heard it. And Jonathan Brown walks like, because the guy doesn't know his source. He doesn't have a deep knowledge of the subject, and therefore his knowledge is quite thin. And so against a real expert, he doesn't do very well.
And the same goes with Dan Gibson.
Sorry?
Dan Gibson.
But Dan Gibson's not even a scholar. He's even worse. He's not actually a recognised scholar. He's an amateur autodidacte, by which I mean he's not a qualified academic who has studied this. He's not a recognised scholar. Do you know what I mean by recognised scholar?
I guess I presume what you
Yeah.
mean.
So just citing a name, are they qualified? Are they specialists? Are they recognised as experts in this field? You do that in science, you know. You go online, you can find, 9/11, the moon landings. You know, they didn't really happen, or those are weird stuff and shit. But actually, just talk to the expert. Or 9/11 was done by the Jews. You know, it wasn't really. But actually, just talk to the experts.
But what about things like that? The descriptions of Mecca as a green area, as a green place with those rivers flowing, where there's a mountain on the right, a mountain on the left. There's a certain mountain.
Let's look at this city. Do you have it to hand?
I don't remember that.
So I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this
Dan
city.
Gibson. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dan Gibson quotes you
Okay.
later.
This is a man who takes aerial photographs of mosques today to prove that 1,400 years ago they weren't facing towards it.
What else can modern archaeologists do?
No, but the aerial photographs of current buildings is not anywhere relevant to the Qibla orientation of structures that were converted into mosques and added courtyards. Have you seen the original Meccan mosque, Medina mosque rather? Was a courtyard extension onto? It wasn't like a mosque like Regent's Park.
Teacher and Allah knew before that baby was born he was going to fail the test.
Yes, Allah knows.
Say, I ain't pious, I ain't righteous, I ain't one of the greats. I ain't Umar, I ain't Ali, I ain't Ahlul.